Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Well, I am Tyler LeCompte. I'm one of the organizers here for Million Cups Daytona Beach, so welcome. Who's anybody's first time with us this morning? Raise your hand. Wow, that's great. Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you so much. Since it is your first time, to let you know, 1 Million Cups is an entrepreneurial networking event group that happens nationally. It actually happens in 140 cities. So, new announcement for the Organizer Summit. We're now at 140. 140 cities every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Entrepreneurs like yourself get together over coffee and talk about what the heck are we doing. So, before I went recently, before the storms, I had a chance to go and represent Daytona at the 1 Million Cups Organizer Summit in Kansas City, which is home base for Million Cups, and it was an absolute pleasure. And we had, prior to that, we had a little survey come out, so thank you to those that actually responded to this. We had about 55 or so responses, so thank you. Wanted to share kind of some of the fun stuff that you guys came up with. I actually presented this very briefly to the group, and they kind of enjoyed it. And we got a lot of love for Daytona, I'll tell you, on a national scale for the Million Cups group. Everybody and their brother said, we don't know what you guys are doing, but it's so cool. We watch your videos, we see the amount of comments and likes and everything that everybody gets. So it was definitely humbling to know how successful we actually are compared to everybody else. So it was very exciting stuff that was there. Just gave a quick, who are we, but mostly everybody knows this story, but we are coming up on our 3rd anniversary very soon. So obviously the beautiful Cinematique here has been our home for almost 2 years now, and we're very happy to see that they didn't sustain any damage, so that was great. Some of the fun stuff we've done over the years. So we did this survey and wanted to answer some of the questions. Tell us about yourself, who are you and what do you do? So most of you are entrepreneurs, at least one of you is just here for coffee. Who's that? Yeah, absolutely. Identify yourself. So, expected a lot of this because a lot of familiar faces, but almost every week we have new people. So it's great to see that we continue to be a diverse group. It's not just the same 40 people showing up, and that's awesome. And that has to do with you guys putting the word out and doing that. So, how did we originally hear? Most of you heard from us, but that's cool. That's awesome. We're a very active group. We are super active across the entire ecosystem here, is basically what you can gather from this. Is in some form or the other, all of you are doing at least one other thing besides 1 Million Cups, and that's great, because it continues to add our voice to the common stream. Having presented, we have a couple presenters in the room right now. A couple of you will never, ever do it. What are your top 3 reasons for attending? I think most of these are the same. I think I know who my secret admirer is. But that was an answer. It was a literal answer. I'm sorry. Wherever you are, I'll see you after the meeting. A lot of great ideas came from you guys. 14 times you answered that we could do nothing better. And as organizers, I can say very much thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. Because these guys put a lot of work in. Some of the things that we talked about, some great stuff here. I think we'll try and post this later if you guys want to kind of consume it. I don't want to take any Rick's time. But your answers were very well received, and your answers are very similar to a lot of things. This opened up some discussions with organizers from other cities our size and larger, and they had a lot of the same answers of why they do what they do, what they see as being successful in Million Cups. So we're in line. We should be very proud of that. So what's next? Obviously, we're going to continue to grow. We need your help with that. Invite your friends, invite your new people, meet somebody new in town looking for help. Million Cups continues to be kind of a funnel for all of the resources in town. Come here first, and if you've got somebody who's getting started, have them come here first, and then we can help get to know who they are, what they're looking for, and introduce them to all the people in town that are here. So thank you guys for that. And with that, I'm going to introduce our speaker. You got to follow me. All right. MobileCold.com. Rick Rivers, a regular attendee, generally nice guy. Had a really great idea, and he's going to tell us about it.
I've heard several of you guys in the room present before, and I'm going to take you through a journey today. I'm going to try to do it in 20 minutes. because what a lot of you like to know is how the entrepreneur got where he did. To add to that survey, how I got to 1 million cups, and I was sitting at Steak and Shake having breakfast one morning, and I read in the paper about who was presenting the next day a group called 1 million cups, and it was Jason from Synergy. And I said, that guy sounds pretty familiar. I think I'd like to go see him. So I showed up just out of the blue, didn't know anybody. People were fairly nice to me. The coffee was hot, cream was there, so I've been coming back about a year and a half. And I'm not Tyler's secret admirer either, so. My journey as an entrepreneur started in high school, actually. When I was going to Mainland High School in January 1st of 1975, they passed a new law to where you could do everything you wanted to do at 18 years old. I fell into a little window there where I could smoke, I could vote, I could do anything I wanted to. And any of you in the room my age know what that was. So on January 2nd or 3rd, when I went back to school, I was the only 18-year-old, so I'd go to the local ABC and I'd buy every bottle of Boone's Farm for $1.50, and then on Friday and Saturday night I'd sell it for $10 a bottle. Well, I got caught, being a former cop, some of the best cops are criminals. So I got caught, so I had to quit doing it that way. So then I started throwing parties where I charged everybody $20 to drink, and I bought all the booze. I got caught doing that too. We used to rent out warehouses and stuff like that. So that's how it started. And then after I graduated high school, I did short order, cook. I did a bunch of different jobs. And then in August of 1976, I went to Daytona State Job Fair. Back then we called it Mainland North, because that's what it was like. You went to Mainland, you went there. And I walked over to a booth, and the guy said, "Have you ever thought about being a cop?" And I go, "No." My hair was down to my shoulders. It was a mullet. Just a kid. He said, "Well, with that new law that passed, you can be a police officer as young as you are." I filled out the paperwork. At 4 o'clock that afternoon, they called me for an interview the next morning. And they said, "We want to offer you a job, but we're starting a new program. We're hiring 10 guys. You're going to be a policeman, a fireman, and an EMT. It's called a public safety officer." I go, "Geez, I'm kind of scared of fires. I really don't like fires. I don't like heights." They said, "It's $318 a week." I said, "Where do I sign?" So I signed up, started school the following Monday. Now, right now, for a police officer to get on the road by himself, it takes about a year. Rookie school was 8 weeks long, just 8 weeks long was it. Then I went to fire school for 8 weeks. After I came out of fire school, I went in, got in the police department. After 4 nights of training, on my 5th night, you work as a fireman. So I did that, and then the following week I came in, and they said, "Listen, we cannot train you anymore because we don't have enough help, so you're on your own. We're going to put you up by Bel Air Plaza. Here's the keys to car 31. If you shoot somebody or wreck that car, just leave it where it is and don't come back." So here I was a policeman. I went to 2 months of training, 4 nights of formal training on the road. Now it takes like 6 months of training on the road. And here you go. I had a lot of things in the police department. That's Huey Lewis, 3 sitting presidents. I got to be in detail. And of course, this was my thing, riding scooters for many, many years. Katie, I can see the look in your eye. You're probably wondering, how did this was ever that, or how did that become this? But it was me. Trust me. About 60 pounds ago. So I got on the police department, and one of the things, remember I told you there was one thing I couldn't do? Well, about the 2nd or 3rd week that I was working one night, I get a call. I get there, it's a fully involved fire on the beach side. I jump out, I hit the truck, I put on my turnout gear. We got to realize, I'm a 19-year-old policeman, so you wear these day and night because you're cool. So whether it's daytime or nighttime, you're wearing your glasses. I jump out, I hop in, and this lady's screaming, Barney's inside in the bedroom on the left." So I go, totally forgetting about what I learned in fire school, that if you kick in a front door to a fully involved building, that's called a backdraft, and it'll come back and burn everything off your face. So I did that. So I went in, and I started looking around, and I felt something on the floor, picked it up, and it was an 8-pound Terrier Chihuahua mix named Barney. He began to chew off my gloves, bite all my fingers. I took him outside to the lady. She was happy, and that was my first official commendation act as a police officer. So I was pretty happy about that. So a couple days later, I got a notice in the box that we had to qualify. We had to go qualify and shoot our guns. Well, being that only thing I couldn't do in that statute is I couldn't buy guns or bullets. You still had to be 21 to do that. So the sergeant said back then you had to provide your own guns, your own bullets, everything. But it was $318 a week after taxes, about $277. So I mean, you thought you'd hit the lottery. So the next morning I wake up and I say, Mom, what are you doing? She says, nothing. I said, well, you go to the gun store. She says, for what? I said, I need you to buy me some bullets. So we go down to the gun store. Before we get in, we get out of the car. I put my shades back on because I'm cool. I start chewing my fictitious gum really, really slow because I'm cool. I got to go in. So I walk in and I said, Mom, now just do what I asked you to do. Okay, son, no problem. I'll do it. So we go in, we walk to the counter, and I walk up to the guy, and the guy walks over, he says, what can I do for you, son? I said, I'll take a box of 38 wads, I'll take a box of 22 longs, and a box of nines. He says, okay, that'll be about $21. My mother says, I said, Mom, pain. She says, I'm so happy I'm here for my son to buy his bullets because he's not young enough. Or he's not old enough to buy bullets. Like, oh, is he really? She says, yeah. I'm so proud of him. The other night he sang the Chihuahua nickname Barney. I go, Mom, please, right here. The store is full of troopers. I don't know if you remember a group called the Florida Marine Patrol, the FMP. They were the elite group. They're all laughing and stuff like that. I'm going, Jesus, Mom, please. And so she's, no, Mom, so I said, Mom, just pay the bill. So I go out the door. They start, you know, I hear them chuckling and laughing back in the back, and one of them says, goodbye, Officer Chihuahua. So police officers, we do a lot in sign language, so I went out the door. I did that to all of them. So that was my police days. I learned a lot in the police days. One thing I learned about the most is how to treat people. If you go into a job like that and you don't treat everybody equally and you don't look at everybody equally, they can smell it, they can see it, and you'll start to have problems. Yes, there are times if I had a body camera, I'd have been fired too, because there's sometimes you just do things that just don't work out. So while doing that, back in 1985, my wife calls me one day. She's a judge's secretary. I'm a motorcycle cop, and she says, we've been looking for businesses our whole life. We love business. We've owned several of them. We don't mind. We flip houses. We flipped apartment complexes. We've done everything under the sun, you name it. We bought a little flower shop in Ormond Beach that was doing $36,000 a year in sales. We grew that business through the 80s and 90s into the 2000s and got it almost up to $1 million. We never hit $1 million, hit about $910,000 in sales at our biggest time, about 13 employees, 14 employees, and we were just rocking and rolling. And then Al Smith's in the room, and he used to start a little marketing group back in Angel and Phelps called the Glazier Kennedy Insider Circle. So we started going and learning, and it's a group of business people that get together to learn how to do marketing. So I picked up on marketing really well. And I've written 2 books on marketing that I still travel the country about 1 weekend a month doing seminars to try to help florists make more money. So I really latched on to some traditional marketing ideas, and I really was doing good. So this actual, hello, my name is Rick Rivers, Doctor of Love, is a thing that I did at Valentine's Day at the flower shop, and that I won a national award for that one. And then the other one, Bridezilla Therapy, done here. I got into trouble with that one a little bit. A few people didn't find my humor too well on that, but I still did very well on that. And then, of course, here we go, the flower shop. When I started doing the boot camps, one of the biggest things I stressed to florists on doing the boot camps and logo is, over here is a floral delivery guy. My secret to success, and the people who bought my store are now using it, every driver is required to do 5 marketing stops a day. And if you've got any type of business out there where you have delivery people, they should be doing 5 marketing stops a day. So, give me an example. What is your name, young lady?
Sierra.
If Sierra is a hairstylist and she's working in a strip plaza, and we're delivering flowers to Sierra, and there's 3 other businesses there, our drivers would get out, knock on the door, use a traditional marketing thing as I've just serviced Sierra's next door, we just dropped some flowers off to your neighbor. Right there, it's called relationship marketing. They're saying, if he's good enough for Sierra, he's probably good enough for us too. So 8 of our 10 biggest accounts right now that we currently had at the flower shop before I sold it came from the driver's marketing program. So it's a huge program, and florists all across the nation are doing this. Today's business owners lack the clarity and community of who they are, what they sell, and what they do. Think about that. We've let others take on that role for us. And I can go through list after list after list. And one of the things that I tell people all the time, you have to effectively communicate who you are and what you do. This was a national campaign that I was involved in with a company. It's a Teleflor product back in about the 2008, 2009. I helped them draft this up. The flower business is being inundated with online marketers. People that just gather orders, they're sitting in some basement somewhere in their underwear, gathering orders. All they can do is process credit cards. Then they got to find somebody to fill that order. We can get into debate whether we want to do that or not, but that's a campaign right there. And I think the dog urinating on the box really speaks volumes for it. But so what I used to sell to people is florist or business, your competitor. A competitor is always going to fish your pond. One of the things that a lot of my competitors in the business that I was in the flower business, knew that I always went after commercial accounts. I didn't care who you were with, I went after you. And sometimes if that door cracked open and the other person was doing a bad job, but I was big on communicating, I was big on email marketing, I was big on my top 25 customers have my personal cell phone for texting. I mean, one of the largest real estate companies in town here, he would just say, my wife's sister's sick, and that's all he'd say. So I'd have to do the rest to find out who that is. So your job is to protect your pond. And so after we protect our pond, oh crap, we sold it. In January of this year, Ashley Robertson and her husband, who she's a boss lady, she was at the boss lady retreat. They approached me and said, we want to buy your store. And I said, get lost. And then they presented an offer on paper, and my CPA said that offer might not come around in 5 years for you. But I had to stay on, helping with some marketing, stuff like that. So I sold it. So after we left closing, everybody went back to work. I went to there. And I drank that pitcher of margaritas because all of you know that owning your own business is very self-rewarding, but there's also a lot of challenges involved when you have, when the phone rings in the morning, Betty can't come to work, she stubbed her toe on the bathroom scale walking by it, and then Sally called or Bob called, he has to go worm the cat because something's wrong with the cat. So you're always having to scramble and get things done. So we sold the flower shop. So I jumped into this business, MobileCold, which MobileCold, you gotta remember, entrepreneurs are like greyhound dogs. They chase things. They see a rabbit and they chase it. Back when I was a policeman involved in special events, I can't tell you the number of people come to me and say, where can I find refrigeration? Where can I find portable refrigeration? Where? Hertz was the only, Penske, then it wasn't Penske, it was Hertz was the only game in town, and they are so unreliable on customer service, it's unbelievable. So, the refrigeration revolution has begun. Back in 2002, 2003, I started another company called Cold to Go with a business partner, with a business divorce in 2009. So in 2010, I jumped on, I was able to, it's only by the grace of God that I was doing some searches one day and I couldn't find the name, and then I found MobileCold.com. So I got a trademark and all that. We started. So what is MobileCold.com? It's a portable refrigeration company. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, I've been several articles in the paper about people that have lost all their food. I went to the Greek place on Monday and I said, I read an article where you lost $10,000 worth of food. He said, yes. And I gave him a postcard like they're on your desk right here. I said, that $500 trailer could have saved you $9,500. And he just looked at me like, I never knew something like this existed. As an entrepreneur, you know what you want to do. If you like retail and Andy, I've never heard of portable storage before. And you want to go bang your head into a wall because I do a lot of marketing and advertising. Who needs me? 63% of American businesses depend on some form of refrigeration. During the hurricane, tons of calls, all the trailers were out. The guy calls me calls me from Titusville. It's a mortuary. Cooler's down. He said, do you have a trailer? And I said, yes. But I had a thought. I'll send him a blank one, and I'll change the name, call Storestick. It's a new business, right? It's a new angle of the business. I mean, entrepreneurs are always thinking about new ideas, things to do. So I sent him a blank one, and then went to Outback Steakhouse. And hopefully nobody ate at Outback Steakhouse in Titusville last week. They depend on some form of refrigeration. So think about this. Think about this. I just had the medical supply company call me today. They have something coming in next week that they need a trailer that holds 45 degrees to 47 degrees. I don't know what it is. He said, I didn't need to know. And I said, as fine as the check comes, I'm fine. I'm also on the preferred vendor list for the DOD and FEMA. They drive you crazy, but it took me months of filling out paperwork and jumping through hoops. The girl in Kansas City that processes all the payments around on a first-name basis. If you get paid through the DOD or FEMA, it comes out of the Kansas City office to group there. So 63% of the people need me or some form of refrigeration, but I have to get it out there. My favorite Bible verse is in Proverbs, and it says wisdom and counsel. So that's why I'm here today. And at the very end, I'm going to be asking for your help. Hopefully you might just say I'm stupid. I don't know. Restaurants, hotels, florists, disaster reliefs, caterers, hospitals. 20 calls so far this week about Puerto Rico. They want trailers. I call the port I know a girl in Jacksonville. I call the girl that's in charge of shipping in Jacksonville. She said, if you were to bring me a trailer right now, it'd be a month before I could ship it. So I understand the Navy's getting ready to help them. We're 40% cheaper than Hertz or Penske or any of those, and we're much more reliable. The one thing I learned in the flower business is you have to be on point. I know Corinne's here for details. She does a lot with flowers. When you're dealing with people's emotions and you're dealing with their events and their weddings and stuff like that, you can't forget details. You have to be on point, on task, keep them informed if you want to do that. So, how do I reach them? I know you're going to say social media, but when I jumped in this back full-time, I've just been dibbling in it for the last 4 or 5 years, and I've sold trailers as far away as Africa. I've actually sent some to Dubai. My biggest problem is it takes me about 6 weeks to build a trailer. I went to the plant in DeLand where I build the trailers, and I'd been over and I told a welder something for him to do, and he proceeded to tell me where he was going to put the welding torch if I ever been over and told him to do something again. So you don't get welders to do what they do on their own pace. So what I've been using so far is called the customer triangle. I use this in the flower shop. It was written, a guy named Johnson wrote this on the back of a napkin back in 1977, and this was another secret to our success. And our sole job in the flower shop was to make a C customer, a B customer, a B customer, an A customer. The A customers, if they're happy, will bring you the new C customers, and you have no customer acquisition cost at all. Right now, to buy a new flower customer, it's about $105, north of $100, $105. For a MobileCold customer, our portable refrigeration customer, is not near that high because most people don't know that I even exist. So that's what I've been using, and for traditional marketing, it works. For the business I'm in now, I'm in a total different animal. And today, when I get to question and answers, some of you guys might look at me and say, you dummy. And one of the things by joining a national marketing group, I've had the chance to go to these meetings. That Al and I have been to a few of them, and you get to sit down with 1,800 people, and I've actually sat at the tables with VPs of marketing for Amazon, eBay, a lot of these big companies, because they all go to them because that's how they do, and they have some really great ideas. And like for example, the girl from marketing, one of the marketing VPs for Amazon told me a couple of years ago, she said, the greatest thing we ever did at Amazon was Amazon Prime. And I said, oh, the free shipping, $100 a year. She said, yeah, but the average person only orders Amazon 5 to 7 times a year, so they're paying $100 for $35 worth of shipping. Yeah, they get a free music channel, a few other things. So I thought about that, and I thought to myself, wow, she said, you got to order from Amazon at least 15 times a year for that $100. Otherwise, you're better off because their flat rate to ship 3 to 5 days is $4 on a box up to 14 pounds. So you have to think about things when you do it. So I know that I got to think outside the box on this. So can anybody tell me what this is? All right. There's a gift in here. I must have been in there when I bought it yesterday. I didn't shoplift it, but there's a gift in here for you too. It looks like you have a pack of glow sticks. So that will be your gift for answering the question right. I'm in trouble. The trash can. Anybody else in here in a bricks and mortar thing now? Imagine this. I got last month, the month of August, I got 107 calls for my services. I could only help 6 of those 107 calls. So, Tyler, imagine, where's Tyler at? Imagine if 107 calls came in and people wanted you to help and you could only help 6 of them. Would you cry yourself to sleep with them? No? Or suicide, yeah. All right, so over 95% of my leads go in the trash. That's what that trash can is for. So every month I have to shred all those leads because I print out everything and they all go in this trash can. I should have filled it up for you. So think of this. 101 people last month, in the month of August, went in this trash can. People that needed storage that I couldn't help. People that needed computer work I couldn't help. People that needed catering services I couldn't help. People that needed florist software I couldn't help. Whatever. It's in the trash can. That's not fun. So, I cry myself to sleep some nights. Not really. I just thought that'd be good to add that in there. So, but I'm constantly thinking. Adrian's helped me a little bit. He did a Facebook campaign for me that got me over 2,500 likes in 2 days. Not bad at all. Because one of the things I have learned is that even though Facebook likes don't translate to dollars, they do translate to perception. If me and Kate are in the same business, let's say we both own a flower shop or a restaurant or anything, and I have 2,700 likes and she has 13, automatically 97, 98% of the people are going to think, well, why is Rick better than Kate? He must be, because he has all those likes. So I appreciate Adrian, and he didn't charge me arm and a leg, just an arm. And actually, I did it on a Facebook Live campaign. He did a live campaign live one day, and we did it, and a bunch of people signed on, and so it worked out good. I save people so much money that, Al Smith used the trailers here for a bunch of his events downtown. So my Rick's plea to you, help. I got to think of new ways to get this out there. I got to think of, how do we salvage those leads? That just, when I tell people this, they look at me and they go, well, you got to find a way to service those people. Well, when people are calling me from Michigan that had a fire in a restaurant and they need a cooler for 3 months, yeah, they can buy it and come pick it up, and I do sell some that way. But most people just need to rent it for a month or two. When I first got back in business in 2010, I had one restaurant have 2 trailers for 10 months. I have a government trailer. I've had a trailer for over a year up at the Air Force Base in the Panhandle up in Pensacola. And when the guy called me, I said, if you buy this trailer, it'll be cheaper. He said, we're the government, sir. We just rent. We don't want to own. So they have been paying me $1,500 a month for over 14 months now. They paid for the trailer, and now it's going. So I sent them a used trailer. It'll come back used. The rental market for the government is really, really good. Do I create a national database? How do that? I know one of you are going to throw up the real bright idea of franchising. Well, after meeting with 2 lawyers, and both of the lawyers wanting $25,000 just to have a second meeting with you, I say to myself, sorry, I'm speaking my cop universal language, and I'm just not going to do that. And then all the laws, regulations, and stuff like that. Obviously, I need someone smarter than me, and let's face about it, we succeed in business when we surround ourselves around people that are a little smarter than us. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm not a spoon either. So I'm somewhere in between those two. And I feel like I know a lot about marketing, but this business has really taken me to the next level. That person there, I don't know. That's what I feel like right now, because that's what I do. So that's the mobile portable refrigeration business in a nutshell. That's my life of coming up as a policeman on up into the flower shop days and stuff like that. So I'm here, and so I'm needing some help. So if you guys can offer me suggestions, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. And thank you.